Hello, thank you for joining me this afternoon. I'm Quinn Brock, and you're watching 21 Alive News Plus. Got some new information into the newsroom to share with you here today. So that 17-year-old Fort Wayne boy was sentenced today in a deadly 2025 shooting. Now you can see him on your screen. Jameer Benson was sentenced to 45 years in prison today for killing 17-year-old Sincere Thomas last year. Benson pleaded guilty to felony murder last month in exchange for a 45-year prison sentence and 2 charges, robbery and a firearm sentencing enhancement, being dismissed. Sincere's family did speak during the hearing today, and I wanted to share that with you. Now this is Sincere's aunt, Candace Davis, speaking. Get that video pulled up for you now.
Sincere was my niece.
And what do you want to tell the judges then?
Over the past year, I've learned just how much Sincere has touched the people in her life, her family, her friends, her teachers, even her coworkers. It's a shame that her life had to be cut short. I wanted to write this statement because I need everyone to understand what her life meant to me, and maybe you'll understand what it meant for me to lose her. I was there the day she was born. She had asthma. Just those first couple hours were a fight. She was always hardworking.
Take your time, ma'am. Take your time. Take your time whenever you're ready.
She was always hardworking. She always knew what it meant to put others above herself. She was a natural nurturer. Sincere took care of her mother, my sister, when she could, and though they bumped heads, as mothers and daughters do from time to time. Sinitra broke, went. She lost her firstborn. Sincere was her only daughter. I'll never forget the day before Sincere's funeral, seeing that ambulance and them telling me that they weren't able to revive her. I felt like God had played a cruel joke on me in that moment in time. We had to tell the guests at Sincere's funeral that the next week we would be burying her mother as well. Sincere couldn't walk across the stage to receive her high school diploma. She won't ever turn 21. She won't get to graduate college. She'll never get married or welcome her first child. Those are the thoughts that haunt me every day. Sincere's favorite color was purple. She was an entrepreneur. She also loved fashion, and she owned her own small business, Heaven Sent Soleil. She loved her brothers very dearly and spoiled them when she could. She loved her parents, Sinitra and Lamar. Sincere worked long, hard hours and bought her first car and paid for the insurance too. Sincere was a 17-year-old young woman who was supposed to do great things in life, but instead she was embraced by death. I've watched my family fall apart over the year 2025. I've watched myself walk through it like a zombie, not knowing if I'm coming or going. I just know that I've got to keep going for my children and my nieces and nephews that still need me here. I battled not knowing how to explain to them that I feel like the world just might not be a safe place after I lost my first niece, the first granddaughter, the first baby that I put all of my hopes and dreams into. That's something that I'm not sure if I'll ever be able to get back. Sincere would have been 19 years old this May. She would have been wrapping up her freshman year of college, but instead she's not. I won't say all of this I'm not saying all of this to make anybody feel any worse. I just want everyone to understand that this is a loss for not just my family, but for everyone's family, and it's just a loss. It's a loss. And that's all I have for you guys today.
Thank you for your words.
Now, again, that was Sincere Thomas and Davis, stuff that he had that Sincere had on the lives and the impact that Yvette had on me as well. But she was not the only person to speak during the sentencing hearing today. We also heard from Vincent, the 20-year-old sentencing victim back today, and we didn't want to share that with you as well.
You don't have to, but you have the right to speak.
I know that I hurt a lot of people, with my actions, but I do want to say that this was never my intention to harm or kill anyone. And I'm very sorry for all the hurt that I caused all of them.
Show that you are here in person with your attorney for.
And then that was Shamir Benson, who was sentenced to 45 years in prison today for killing 17-year-old Sincere Thomas last year. Now, court documents say that Thomas met with Benson to trade shoes for a gun. Text messages show Thomas texted a contact named Mir to set up the trade and said she needed a gun for protection. Cell phone data traced to the device showed the number connected, was connected to the scene of the shooting, as well as the home Vincent allegedly fled to after the shooting. Now, we also spoke with Sincere's uncle after the hearing, and I did want to share part of that interview with you as well. He spoke on just how all of this has played out for them. He has been a big organizer behind a lot of events for her to celebrate Sincere's life. So this is Louis Bright, again, Sincere's uncle.
You were telling me here just a few minutes ago that you didn't think 45 years was enough and you wish it was on the trial. Tell me about that.
I really do. I mean, my niece's life, she wouldn't be able to even live to see 45. And I get it as far as understanding, as far as being a young man, being young, but also justice needs to be served. They say 2/3 of that 45 sentence. You see what I'm saying? They already knocked out 10 years, so, he's already served it here. So, I really do wish she could have more justice, more years for it. I think it's a relief. It's not a relief. It's not a relief for me, unfortunately.
It's not a relief that it's over.
No, it's not, because it's not ever over. Her death will not ever, her death will always affect us, so that's just what it is, She left behind a legacy. She still has memory people here, family that love her and care about her, so.
What else should I ask you? How do you and your family, how do you move? She had younger siblings?
Yes, she did.
Yeah. How do you guys move on from this?
Well, we pray. God, of course, and we gotta, keep moving, but it's very, very difficult, My brother was 14 when he saw his sister get murdered. He was standing right there with her. Yeah, he was standing right there with her, So they're young men. They're young men. One just turned 15, the other one is 17.
That's got to be a burden for him to have seen that.
Of course he does. And that's affected him and his other brother, and then of course, their mother, who passed the day before my niece's funeral. My sister, yeah. Actually, so it has impacted. This has great impact, right? Yeah. So it's just not one, single entity of, a murder here, but so.
And that was Louis Bright, Sincere Thomas's uncle. Like I said, he was the organizer behind a lot of events to celebrate her life, including a balloon release that we went through last year on what would have been Sincere's 18th birthday. You can find more of that coverage on our website at 21alivenews.com. If you would like to hear more on today's top stories, you can join us back here on 21 Alive News' digital desk at 3 o'clock to hear more from Kara Krasuchek, or beginning at 4 p.m. you can tune in to our evening newscast with Heather Heron and Linda Jackson to hear about today's top stories. That's all that I have for you here this afternoon. I thank you for joining me Corinne Brock, 21 Alive